Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. So recently we reported that CD Projekt RED registered a trademark for the term cyberpunk in Europe. That brought cries of shenanigans from some who felt like the developer behind the Witcher franchise was overreaching a bit, but CD Projekt RED responded to the complaints on Twitter saying basically, too bad. In the tweet, the developer said, "We want to protect our hard work, and we don't plan on using the trademark offensively. It's a self-defense measure only." It all has to do with the game they're working on, Cyberpunk 2077, and they want to make sure another developer doesn't come along and name a game Cyberpunk 2078, for example. You know that was gonna happen on the mobile stores, right? App stores are gonna be all Cyberpunk games up and down. The developer added that a trademark doesn't mean they own the word, it's just to avoid confusion. Now, in their tweet, the company said that someone naming their game John Smith Adventures in a Cyberpunk Dystopian Society wouldn't be treated as an infringement of their trademark because it's not confusing. So basically, it sounds like what they're saying is, trust us. Most gamers do, I think. Yeah. The release and success of Nintendo Switch has proved to be a boon for Nintendo over the last month, and more specifically, Nintendo shareholders. Bloomberg reports that the company's share prices have risen 20% since the launch of the Switch, which is more than double the gain Nintendo saw in its stock prices following the launch of the Nintendo Wii. And that's also way better than the company's stocks fared after the Wii U came out, when the launch dropped the share price by 30%. Bloomberg sort of uses that data to kind of imply that the Switch could be a bigger hit than the Wii. What it really means is that investors are definitely very excited about the system and its potential. However, some analysts are apparently concerned that Nintendo could undercut all that excitement with extremely conservative sales projections at their next investor meeting, which will happen later this month. So, looks like gamers aren't the only ones with Switch fever right now. Horizon Zero Dawn's open world has provided art-minded gamers with the tools to produce some really pretty amazing art. Social media users have posted tons of screenshots and GIFs, yes, I'm on that train, of the game in action over the last month. One of those gamers in particular, who goes by the Twitter handle Sunhill Legend, has become something of a hit with the game's community thanks to his penchant for creating really awesome Horizon Zero Dawn GIFs. Those GIFs are in fact so awesome that Sunhill Legend is now being flown out to Amsterdam by Guerrilla Games so he can visit the studio in person and presumably end up balls deep in hookers. What do you go to Amsterdam for? Except for like getting super high and banging hookers. I want to go to Amsterdam, sounds fun. Guerrilla made the announcement about the gamer's trip yesterday, and he had about the fanboy reaction you'd expect. Always really cool to see a studio rewarding their fans like that. I mean, who said making GIFs didn't pay? Well, I mean, it still doesn't technically, but sometimes you get a free trip to Amsterdam, which is kind of like paying. So with all the fuss going on over Persona 5 streaming regulations set by Atlas this week, there were a couple more grumblings going on yesterday about Sega. The publisher, for reasons completely unknowable, opted to similarly regulate streams and gameplay videos about Puyo Puyo Tetris, citing a fear of spoilers for the puzzle game's adventure mode. However, it looks like those same regulations might not actually be the case for the game's Western audiences. A Sega representative informed Polygon, "We highly encourage our American and European fans to stream Puyo Puyo Tetris when it comes out. There are no PS4 share button restrictions. We want them to share their experiences with the world, but we do ask them to please be conscious of revealing adventure mode story cutscenes." Man, now I'm really hyped for this. Apparently it's super twisty and surprising when you get to adventure mode. I wonder who my real father is. Get excited, Castlevania fans! Konami just debuted a trailer for a brand new entry in the Lords of Shadow series, and, well, I'm just kidding, it's actually a pachinko game. Because of course it is. The trailer for the Lords of Shadow patch slot hit the web last night, taunting fans of yet another beloved Konami series. You will all, of course, remember this isn't the first time Konami's pulled this. They did the same thing previously with both Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid 3. The latter's pachinko game even had a Snake Eater cutscene, completely rebuilt and remastered in the gorgeous Metal Gear Solid 5 Fox engine. So, really, Konami just wants you to know that they can do what you want them to, they just probably won't. Move over, Project Scorpio, you've already been upstaged. That was, wow, well that was pretty quick, but it's a PC thing, of course it is. Nvidia has unveiled its latest high-end graphics card, the Titan XP, that retails for a measly, super affordable $1,200. The new Nvidia beast apparently rocks a downright irresponsible 12 teraflops of computing power, putting it at $100 a teraflop, just to give that a little bit of perspective, which would be twice as much as Microsoft's most powerful console ever made. It's also got thousands of CUDA cores, 12 gigabytes of GDDR5X memory, and all kinds of other technical qualifications that we all pretend to understand, but the vast majority of us probably don't, except for you, YouTube commenter. Just goes to show, never underestimate the PC guys. They love that power. That's of course assuming that you're willing to pay the price of 4 PlayStation 4s to buy this baby. If you chain 4 PlayStation 4s together, maybe it'll be like this graphics card. Problems with Mass Effect Andromeda at Bioware Montreal don't appear to be facing EA's ambitions in Canada. The publisher just announced they are going to be bolstering their Montreal studios with 500 new jobs. This expansion will take place over the next 10 years and will reportedly come along with a $500 million investment. At the moment, EA's got a number of operations going on in Montreal, from a Frostbite technical team to Bioware Montreal and the Jade Raymond-led Motive Studios, which is currently working on the officially unannounced Star Wars project, as well as the single-player campaign for Battlefront 2. If the floppy Hollywood version of Ghost in the Shell made you just more nostalgic for more of the proper anime, looks like this is your lucky day. Production IG and Kodansha today revealed that a new animated production is in the works for Ghost in the Shell, brought to you by Kenji Kamiyama, who did Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, and Shinji Aramiki, who formerly worked on Appleseed Alpha. No word on if this is another movie or more of the popular series, but either way, it's good news for Ghost in the Shell fans because, let's get real, this is what people wanted more than the live-action movie in the first place. Now, are you one of those shady YouTube channels that steals content posted on your own fly-by-night channel with the hopes of making a quick buck? Well, go fuck yourself. But also because YouTube says it's coming after you. In its blog, YouTube says that it's changed its partner program so that creators can't turn on monetization until they get 10,000 lifetime views for their channel. That way, they'll have a chance to figure out if your channel is legit. Of course, some creators have a problem because it means smaller channels won't have much of a way to make money until they get more noticed. But it's also not like a channel with less than 10,000 views was making more than a few dollars anyway, so this shouldn't hit anyone too hard. Really, this is more of a move to continue to protect YouTube from controversial accounts starting monetization immediately and hurting YouTube's relationship with advertisers. You know, that whole saga that's been going on. But also that pirates thing, because it makes it sound like YouTube's looking out for you. Sort of. So beware, YouTube pirates. Looks like your particular YouTube party may be over unless you have 10,000 views in which case, I guess, continue partying? But maybe try not to be such a dick. Could chicken nuggets set a world record for the most retweets ever? That's kind of what some are. It sounds like a weird question, but it's what some are asking after one man's quest to get a year of free chicken nuggets from Wendy's. Twitter user Carter Wilkerson tweeted at the fast food giant earlier this week asking how many retweets he'd need to get a year's supply of his favorite processed chicken bits. Wendy's, ever the social media maven, gave him a seemingly impossible task: 18 million retweets. In just a short amount of time, Carter's tweet has passed 1 million of those needed 18 million, so you're like 5% of the way there, dude. It's probably not going to hit the number it needs for those sweet nuggets, but it's actually closing in on the current world record holder for most retweets, which was Ellen's Oscar selfie, which is pretty impressive considering that one had a ton of movie stars in it and happened on national television. People must really love their chicken nuggets, almost as much as they love Ellen. Alright, that's all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of these stories in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet, like this video. If you're new here, subscribe to the know. It all has to do, frankly, with the game they're working on. Frankly. The trailer for the Lords of Shadow Patchaslot. Is it Patchaslot? Yeah. Patchaslot. 2 of them in one thing. It's also got thousands of CUDA cores, 12 gigabytes of GTDD.